and welcome to Chow Time. I am Spike Spencer, and today we're doing another one of Mom's favorites. We are doing salmon patties. Now, a lot of my GenX friends, I've reached out and said, hey, do you guys remember this kind of thing? People are like, oh my God, we had it all the time, you know? And it's like, I still love them, they're so good. So we're gonna make some salmon patties. This is actually, if you wanna get, hooty tooty, it's a salmon croquette. Salmon croquette. You have to say it just like that. And so we'll call it a salmon patty, kind of like a Krabby Patty. Hey! All right, here we go. We're gonna start with salmon. I got a can, little white Alaskan pink salmon here. It's wild caught. Make sure, yep, wild caught. I'm gonna go for wild caught. I don't like farmed fish. I mean, it's a thing. Some people are like, no, they're really, really good. Everything's fine. Okay, that's good. If I knew the farm, if I knew the people who were working there, etc., blah, 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 yeah, I might be like, yeah, sure, let's go with that. I am going to a bowl because there's some, obviously some juice here. I don't want to just throw that away. That is some tasty juice. But you're also making a patty. You don't want to make we're not making a pudding, There we go. So we'll drain all that. Let our salmon do its thing. And you could do this with all kinds of things. You could do this with tuna. You could do this with sardines, trout, I don't know, whatever. You can do it with anything. It's not the prettiest looking thing, I can tell you that right now. I mean, I look at that and I don't go, scrumptious. Now, there are bones in here. But the thing about the bones that are in here, they've been soaking, and so they're not really a problem. And you'll find these. This is a spine vertebrae. Now, some people like these. I didn't really, but no, that's fine. You can eat them fine. But it's a little grainy texture, like a soft eggshell. And so if that's a problem, sift through it and make sure that you don't have that. But otherwise, let's just break it all up. I'm fine with just breaking it all up because it's all going to get mixed. So we break up our salmon because we're going to be mixing everything up, making a patty, and cooking it. Let's go ahead and start that. And it takes these induction tops a little bit to get going. But here we go. Nice and yummy. Now we're just going to build everything from there. So I want to have some veggies. I would basically, you can do pretty much a mirepoix, the onions, celery, carrots. I'm going to go with a little red pepper. I have a little red pepper from the pepper show that I just did. And let's chop up. This is where your own discernment comes in. You can say, I want it big and chunky. Or you can say, I want it fine and petite. So whichever way you want to go with it is totally cool. I'm going to go with kind of petite. And plus, you could also, if you wanted to, you could saute these vegetables down beforehand. I'm not going to do that. I feel that the having a light crunch to all this is actually nice. This, oddly enough, if you think about it, the difference between a salmon patty with everything that is more sauteed, et cetera, and there's not that much crunch, that says dinner more to me. And this is more like an afternoon snack. Or, hey, little man, what's happening? I got a little visitor in here. You want to say hi? Come here. Come say hi. I'm here. Oh, this is my little man. Okay, say see you later. Later, dude. Told you, this is my house. And this is live in my kitchen, y'all. You don't get much more authentico than that O. So, and if he likes this, we have a winner, I'm telling you. Because that is one of those things that if the kids like it, you got a good thing going. They're not all that partial to onions, but I might stick them in there. It works out pretty well. Now let's get some peppers. And like I said, I want to chop everything nice and thin. Get those in there. And then, there we go. Chop, 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 chop. Because we're really just going to mix everything up and throw it in a pan. Get in the pan! I gotta say that at least once a show. I'm gonna have to make some t-shirts like that. Get it in the pan. Raw. Chef Monster Raw. Here we go. I love green onion. I am all about green onion. It is such a wonderful, I just love it. That's why I love Asian cooking, because there's a lot of green onions in so much of it, especially like Vietnamese. There we go. I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit extra. I don't need a whole lot. I do a lot of garnishing with green onion, so that'll work. Now, we have all of these lovely ingredients in here. We need some spices. So when it comes down to something mixing like this, I have no problem using garlic powder. So I'm going to put garlic in just about everything. And I have a whole garlic show called the Vampire Free Garlic Show. Check that one out. I think you're going to like it. Let's see, what else do I want to put in here? Some thyme. I love thyme. A little bit of thyme in there. And I have fresh thyme out there too. I'm going to go with an unsung herb that you don't hear that much about, savory. It's a lovely savory. I found that a long time ago. I heard about some grandma who put savory in her tuna fish. So that has become like kind of my secret ingredient. People are like, that's a lovely, what is that? Savory, y'all. Now we're going to need a binder. So the binder I'm going to use, I'm going to start with an egg. Take that egg, pop it in there. All right, mix it all. Salt, of course. Salt. A little pepper. It'd be very fantastic and lovely. Thank you very much. All right, we'll start mixing that up and see where we are. So you have to have a binder. A lot of times you'll see breadcrumbs as a binder, egg, cornstarch. Actually, I'm going to put one more egg. This is pretty good. I want it to have a nice, moist enough, but not too much. So I'm going to add a little more flavor here in the juice that we had. Just a touch. Let's see where that takes us. And I'm doing this by feel. I don't really know exactly what I'm looking at until I get in there with my hand, but I'm just going to mix for now. That's still a little bit dry. I'm going to add a teeny bit of potato starch or arrowroot or cornstarch. Just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. There we go. Because with that, I'm going to add, because what I'm looking for is a binding yet still moist. Now, there's a couple of ways we can go here. Let's see where we grab it, make a little patty. How's it sticking? Doop, 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 doop. Hey, and it's fun to play with. That has some wetness to it, so it's still good, but once I cook it, there's more of that wetness is going to leach out, so I'm going to use some breadcrumbs. A little bit of breadcrumbs. Let's mix that up. That will help us get everything together. And I could, if I wanted to, once I make the patty, I could dip it in the breadcrumbs and then stick it in oil. Totally do that. So I'm going to make this mix, and I'm just going to make a couple here, and we're going to plate them, and that'll be the dish. So put some oil in there. I want some good oil in there. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Let's get it in the pan. Okay. See, I'm going to make a good size. I don't want to make it too thick. I don't want to make it like that. You know, I mean, you could, but I want to, it's a salmon patty. Patty. Let's make a few of these. That's a lovely patty right there. Hello, Patty. I think that'd be nice. About that size. Pretty good. All right. Here we go. Nice. Stay together for me. Stay together, baby. I dropped it a little hard. So I can see there's a little juice in here still. If I squeeze it. So hopefully it will stay together. If I messed it up, it becomes something totally different. And Spiky is sad. Go. Come on. Okay. And I'll put one more in here. You stay together. I'm talking to you. All right. Come together right now. Salmon Patty. That didn't work at all. Terrible. Oh no. Don't judge. Don't judge. There's far too much judging in our lives right now. Okay. Pattern number 3. There we go. I'll set this on to the side. Clean my hands off a little bit. I'm going to let that do its thing. I am going to let it brown on one side, give it a flip, and then see what we can do. I'll be right back. Okay, in order to flip these, I need a spatula. I could have used my hands, but that would have been stupid, I think. Keep together, keep together. So what we'll know is if I didn't have enough egg or enough binder, you'll know that once you flip it. Because sometimes when you flip it, it breaks apart. So the salmon croquettes, you'll see croquettes, C-R-O-Q-U-E-T-T-E-S, croquettes. And you'll find them all over the world in all kinds of cuisine. Sometimes I've seen some pretty big ones, but like potato croquettes, salmon croquettes, zucchini, you name it. You can take anything and do this and fry it, and it'll become a croquette or a patty. It really doesn't matter. It's really about the combination of the binders and the moisture. That's the key, really, to this. So let's check and see how it's doing. Oh, gives a flip. Me. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Okay. I'm happy. You just have to make sure that when you flip it, whoop, give it a nice, well-rounded flip. Okay. Doesn't take too long to cook them, really. I mean, everything's already cooked. You could eat it all raw if you wanted to, except for the raw egg, if you had a problem with that. But like so much, like Asian cooking, you know, you put an egg yolk on top of the ramen and things like that. So there's a lot, or if you've ever had beef tartare. I mean, it's not just raw meat. There's raw egg in there too. So you get to cover all the danger bases. So now we think about plating on this one. Now, normally we would have you just plate it as it is, and that's totally fine. But you might want to have a sauce. So this is a perfect time if you have some other leftover sauces and whatnot. So I have this from the pepper show. So I'm just going to pop this in here and warm this up a little bit. And we'll have that. Put that on the side. Or actually, I can plate it that way. I can put the pepper on the bottom and then flop these on top. You can do that. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. Like I said, it's really only up to your imagination. I think these would go really, really well with the pepper sauce because I do have a little bit of pepper inside there. So let's see. Nice. I want to make sure everything is warmed through, but I don't want to, cook the hell out of it. That would be a problem. I'm getting some good juice here. Now the juice here, I can actually take the juice and when I warm up the red sauce here, I could add a little bit of that juice to flavor that juice to give it a little bit more of that salmon hit. Or I could also use some of the juice from the can. I don't know what you do from the can here. You have whatever's left. I always try to find something to do with anything extra. Juice from the can. I'll put it in a soup or something along that line. My brain just went to Jello, or adult Jello, which is called aspic. So let's turn that down. Mix this up a hair. There we go. Nice. Warming. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to plate it this way. I'm going to put the red sauce down. So we have a nice base. I got a good amount of sauce here, so that's fine. That is not a problem. So if you want to plate it, hit the sides around the edge. I want it to be all the way. It's nice as a base. There we go. See? A nice little presentation there. So we can take our little fellas here. Da, 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 da. I'm going to set one here. We can set one right here. And we can set another right here. Oh, can't tell me it doesn't look gorgeous. And then hit it with little onions on top. Off. Here we go. And as I always like to finish things with a little touch of olive oil. Let's see what's on the side there. Bum, 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 bum. I like finishing salts. I could do that thing with the, hey, look at that. So ladies and gentlemen, salmon croquettes or salmon patties. This is one of my mom's favorite. We used to have this all the time growing up. It's easy to put together. Doesn't take that long. It's not that many ingredients. So make yourself some salmon patties as soon as you possibly can. Make my mommy happy. There we go. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and check out some of the other recipes that I have along this vein. The pepper show for sure. And lots of other things to check out on my channel. So enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next time on Chow Time. Let's eat.